Yes, let's just kill them all. That's what it is. Kill them all. This is Open Talk with Les Jackson, bringing it back to you. You know what? It is a shame. It is a travesty. How many of our young people will not get to live to see another day because we have gotten this killer mentality. And young folks are killing young people like 40 going north. We're killing off our own, not to mention, if you look at the rest of the world, they're killing their own also. Have we become so barbaric? Have we become so lackadaisical to where killing is now the answer, the norm for everything that we do? Yes, I am Les Jackson. You can reach me on Twitter at Open Talk Les. You can catch me on Facebook, facebook.com/OT Les Jackson. You can also catch me right here. You can email me at Open Talk with Les Jackson 7@gmail. Kill them all. Since we're doing all this killing, and we feel like this is the answer to our problems, we feel like violence is our only way out. Why don't we just invite governments from all over the world just to nuke everybody, and to let the bombs go down? Why don't we just sit back and allow a civil war right here within our country? Let's just do it. Since everybody wants to just kill. There is no more conversation. There is no more sitting back and talking it out. Now we want to just get violent. And it's spooky. It's scary. It is mind-boggling how we permit this to go on. And this has really not a lot to do with race. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with the things that we tend to blame it on. This is just a mentality, and I think it's this video game, watching TV, I'm going to be lackadaisical, I'm going to do what I want to do mentality that has overcome us. And now that we see that the roosters have come home to roost, we feel like we can just do what we want to do. We don't understand that there is no victors. There are no heroes. And then what are we killing each other for? A lot of the black-on-black crime, 98% of crime committed against black individuals is black on black. But I don't see too many protests about that. Most of your racial crimes or your crimes are committed against you with your own, and I don't see too many complaints about that. But what I do see is a mentality that government is sitting back and they're putting within all of the people that have not. Just go ahead, kill them all. You're doing us a favor. And that's what you have to realize. You're doing government a favor by killing off your own people. You are doing the world a service by killing your own people. It's not like the Vietnam War when innocent boys and women were called into combat because of a conflict that we had drawn ourselves into haphazardly a battle that we didn't win and still will not admit that we lost, just kill them all. Kill them all. It's your world. Do what you want to do. This is the mentality that we have. See, I think what has happened is we have taken this thing about being free, and we've taken this First Amendment right and the Fourth Amendment, where it says you can bear arms, but we've taken them to the extreme level, and now because we're all paranoid and we are creations of a slave-matic mentality, where one person was enslaved, the other person had a little privilege as they thought, but nobody could sit back and bring it to the table. I think that what we have here is a bad mix. We're putting stuff into a soup bowl and we're mixing it up and we're coming out with some painful results. We have young children who have not even gotten to the prime of their lives being gunned down by the so-called adults that should be able to distinguish right and wrong. We are watching them as they now make a mockery out of the very things that our forefathers and ancestors fought for. And then again, if we go back, it was the same barbaric behavior back then. It's just that they didn't have social media, they didn't have news, they didn't have all the things that we have to broadcast it a little bit more. So how much progress have we actually made? Little or none. Because we've slipped back into the darkness. We are allowing our kids to be gunned down like animals. And I don't see any real big protests. I don't see anybody really standing up and saying, look, first, the problem is within the house. Within our house, there is a problem. Like I said earlier, when you look on color, race on race crimes, they are much higher than hate crimes. They are much higher than any other crime that's being committed except for, and it's lower. I think it's lower. The crimes worldwide on death row. Let me check this out. I want to be sure, because the 2000 report about the death row crime has actually went down. It has actually went down. And I'm going to sit back. I want to just bring it to you from the 2014 report just released. I want to sit back and read you some startling statistics and where all this murder on my mind is coming from, because it's crazy. It's senseless. It's really stupid, to be honest with you. Here we go. Since 1976, it started out at 0. It spiked in 1999, where there was 98 executions throughout the United States of convicted people that were on death row. By race, 35%, which is 486 races of descendants executed. 35% were black, 56% were white, and 8% were Hispanic, and 2% was something else, other. Race of victims in death penalty cases, a whopping 70% or 76% were white. Only 15% were black. Over 75% of the murder victims in cases resulted in execution, they were white. Even though nationally over 50% of the murder victims generated and generally are white. Juries in Washington state are 3 times more likely to recommend the death sentence for a black defendant than for a white defendant in a similar case as of 2014. White defendants versus black defendants, only 31% actually get executed. Black defendants against white victims is 293. This is way far disproportioned. In Louisiana, the odds of a death sentence was 97% higher for those victims whom were white than those victims that were black. Published by Pierce and Rodelot from the Louisiana Law Review in 2011. A study in California, it found that those who killed whites were over 3 times more likely to be sentenced to death than those who killed blacks, and over 4 times more likely than those that killed Latinos. Same report, same law review, 2005. A comprehensive study of the death penalty in North Carolina. It found that the odds of receiving a death penalty rose by 3.5 times amongst those defendants whose victims were white. Professor Jack Bolger and Dr. Isaac Yanal, the University of North Carolina, 2001. In 96% of states where there has been review of race and death penalties, there was a pattern of either race of victim or race of defendant discrimination, or both. Professor Bolles reported to the ABA. Death row executions by state total 151. Since 1973, over 140 people have been released from death row with evidence of their innocence. From 1973 to 1999, there was an average of 3 executions per year, and from 2000 to 2011 there was an average of 5 executions per year. On death row by race, here is the startling statistics, folks, and I want to give them to you. Here are the statistics. By race, 42% are black, 43% are white, 13% are Hispanic, and the others are at 2%. Why is it that other races can come to America and not kill up each other or people in another race, while we are so concerned with killing each other when we live in such a global economy Let me just tell you something. Here it is. The death row inmates by state as of October 1, 2014, California leads the way with 745. Florida second in the row at 404. Texas right behind them at 276. Alabama 198. Pennsylvania 188. North Carolina 160. Ohio 144. Arizona 123, my number. And in Georgia 90, Louisiana 85, Nevada 78, Tennessee 75. The United States government 63. And the list goes on, and there are a total of 3,035 individuals that are on death row. Race of death row inmates and death row inmates by state. The source is the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Death Row USA. Published October 1st, 2014. When added, the total of death row inmates by state is slightly higher than given total, because some prisoners are sentenced to death in more than one state. Duplicates. Execution by region. In the South, you guys lead the way, 1143. In the Midwest, second in the line, 173. On the West Coast, you got about 85. In the Northeast, 4. In Texas and Oklahoma, a whopping 634. Federal executions are listed in regions in which crimes were committed. And I do have some dramatic good news for you. The number of death row sentences, the number of death sentences per year has dropped dramatically since 1999. From 1997, where there were 266 people on death row. In 2014, there is 72 death sentences that are actually carried out. This is amazing. Mental disabilities, intelligent disabilities. In 2002, the Supreme Court held in Watkins v. Virginia that it was unconstitutional to execute defendants with mental retardation. Now, I seen a report just this morning where they are reviewing that law, and they are trying to pass a law now where they can sit back and actually execute those people that have mental retardation. Here's the execution since 1976, and by the methods that they're used. I want you to just listen to this, because I'm telling you, they're saying kill them all. Kill them all. Just kill them. Kill them. Lethal injection, 1,229. Electrocution, 158. The gas chamber, 11. They hung 3 people, and 3 people got the firing squad. 35 states plus the U.S. government uses lethal injection. That has been debated over the last few months over the case of events where people down in, I want to say, Texas or Florida, you've seen it, where the man took twice the time to die from lethal injection. That's under review right now as I speak to you. In 2005, the Supreme Court in Roper versus Simmons struck down the death penalty for juveniles. 22 defendants have been executed for crimes committed as juveniles since 1976. Only 22. There were 57 women on death row as of October 1st, 2014, and this constitutionalizes less than 2% of the total death row population. According to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, October 1st, 2014, 15 women have been executed since 1976. Kill them all. Kill them all. This is the mentality that we sit back and we live in. Let me give you this statistic. Watch this. Here's the financial facts about the death penalty. The financial facts about the death penalty. Defendants' costs for death penalty trials in Kansas averaged about $400,000 per case compared to $100,000 per case when the death penalty was not sought. That's according to the Kansas Judicial Council 2014. A new study in California reveals that the cost of death penalties in the state has been over $4 billion since 1978. The study considered pretrial and trial costs of automatic repeal and states habeas corpus petitions, costs of the federal habeas corpus Christus appeals, and the cost of incarcerating one on death row. That was by Olacron and Mitchell, 2011. In Maryland, the average death penalty case results in a death sentence that cost approximately $3 million. Now, my question that I have to ask you in this little bit of time that we have left is, does crime pay? And who is it paying? It has become more and more obvious that the governments of the world are saying kill them all. Somehow or another, they have found a way to make money off of the executions of our children and our men and women, black, white, or Hispanic. Is there a racket? Oh, I do want to put this in there. Just on my poll earlier today, the inmates in California are suing the federal government because they say they can't get access to the internet and they can't get access to being able to speak to people when they come to visit by way of computer, opposed to the old traditional way of telephone. I'm telling you, we have this kill 'em all mentality, and it's not just physical killing. Folks, we are killing the spirits, we are killing the hopes, we are killing the dreams and admirations of young people, we are killing the dreams and admirations of old people just to sit back and go through their last days in happiness. We are killing the middle class and robbing them of their dreams of being able to pursue happiness and being able to reap the rewards of the hard work and labor that they have done. We have started just killing all. So kill them all. Just kill them all. Because nobody cares. We're not concerned with solving this problem. We have the answers. We just don't want to solve it. Yes, I am Les Jackson. This is Open Talk with Les Jackson. coming to you. Kill them all. We started out, yes we did. We started out on live stream, got cut off. We had to bring it straight to you as only I can bring it to you. We're going to be switching over where you can call in at blogtalkradio.com/open talk with Les Jackson. You can call in at 718-664-9476. I'm going to open up the chat rooms. I'm opening up all phone lines. You need to call in. I want to hear from you. I can't mention how many mothers have lost babies, how many men and women may be on death row that may be innocent. We see it every day. Every single day. And it's going on not only here in America, but it's going on all over the world. Look at what they tried to do with Amanda Knox over in France. 4 or 5 trials for the same thing, and they still came up with the same result. Waste of taxpayers' money. Because they're so busy trying to give out the death penalty, because if I can get $400,000 and it's awarded to the states, it's awarded to the local governments, then I'm saying to myself, kill them all. Let's kill up as many folks as we can kill. I'm not even going to mention what ISIS is doing. Look at these little crazy terrorists that are running around all over the world just killing up everybody for some senseless reason, because they can't sit back and get in power in their own country. They refuse to get into the game and play according to the election rules. And they're over 100,000 strong, but they won't sit back and get into the game because we've got this kill 'em mentality. Let's just kill up everybody. It's the easy way to go. And then we fall victim to all of the madness and all the junk that's going on all over our world and our country. We got pilots now that we can't even trust to use airplanes because they want to kill them all. Kill them all. Let's just kill up the folks. Get it over with. Let's just do it. Kill them all. Yes, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, folks. But don't you think, for 1 minute, don't think that these people in high places are not looking and have a solution. They recently built here in the United States 6 super prisons that can imprison up to 1 million people at a time. Why did they build them? Because they're preparing. They're preparing for you acting out. We keep on. Pretty soon, they're going to separate the haves from the have-nots. And it's going to happen sooner than later, my friends. This has been Les Jackson, Open Talk with Les Jackson. You can get in right now at blogtalkradio.com. I'm going to be opening up the phone lines in just a minute. I'm going to make it happen. You need to call in as I continue the conversation on Kill 'Em All. Until tomorrow, where we're going to talk about some brighter things, this has been your host, Les Jackson, right here on Open Talk with Les Jackson.